Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's training. In today's call, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my screen and I'm going to be walking you through the process of storefront stalking other Amazon sellers. I know it sounds creepy. It's a little bit creepy. It's not too creepy, but it's a really great way to be able to find products to be able to go out and buy and resell for a profit. In today's training, I'm going to be sharing how you can storefront stalk other sellers, then pretty much take their best items. I'm going to share with you how to go into a seller's store and maybe they have 1,000 items. And I'm going to teach you how to filter all those items down to the top 50, top 100, and even how to filter down into a specific category because maybe you're only flipping books or maybe you're only flipping DVDs. And you're like, I want to go into the seller store and I want to find the DVDs that are selling at $40 plus under 100,000 rank. And there's at least a couple sellers on the listing, right? That's just an example of some criteria. And I'm going to share with you how within 10 seconds of finding and filtering out that store, you could actually download all of their ASINs. All you're going to need is a Keepa subscription and you can upload it to Replen Catcher to be able to track and monitor these items 24/7 on eBay. Okay, so that's really the end goal here. Find sellers. I'm going to share with you how you can find other sellers because you might be thinking to yourself, I don't know what seller to storefront stalk. How do I know what sellers are my competitors? How do I know what sellers have products that I'd be possibly interested in? I'm going to teach you how to do that. And then again, I'm going to teach you how to, go into the specific categories within their store. I'm going to teach you how to filter out their store so you're not downloading all their junk and stalking their junk on eBay. And then I'm going to teach you within seconds how you can download that list and upload it to Replen Catcher. So that's pretty much the game plan for today. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and let's get right into this party. All right, we're going to party today, guys. Let's start with DVDs and then we'll go into some books, okay? So the way that I find sellers to storefront stock is usually what I'll do, and you could use this, Flipmine if you're using Flipmine or Replen Catcher, but what I'll do is I'll choose the category that I want to source. So let's just say I want to source movies and TV. I like to go after new DVDs. I'm curious, do you guys sell used or new DVDs? I'm mostly all new. When I used to go to the thrift stores and stuff, I would sell used, but there's a lot of money in new. So I'm just going to put in let's do $7 profit, 30% ROI. Let's just say under 125,000 rank. And this isn't that big of a deal. I'm just going to share with you how we can start to get some results and how we can start to identify some sellers that we want to storefront stock. Now, the cool thing with Replen Catcher is if you're using Replen Catcher and Flipmine doesn't have this, you can now integrate Replen Catcher with your Amazon seller account. And essentially what it'll do is it will share with you all the products that you're restricted on, but also anything that you've sold before in the past, there'll be a gold background. So you can see right here, this DVD, in the last 12 months, I sold it twice. And you can see that actually on June 23rd, I sold it for $88.53. And then on August 24th, I sold it for $98. There's a big fat Keepa chart here, so on and so forth. You can see all the different prices, your profit, so on and so forth. So this might be an interesting opportunity because I know I've sold this before multiple times. But let's start with this example right here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the Amazon picture, which will redirect to the sales page. Here we are. We're on this sales page right here. And what you're going to want to do is go to data. Okay. You're going to want to click on data. This is Keepa. And if you have a Keepa subscription, it pretty much just integrates into your Amazon sales page. This is the price history. I'm not going to do a whole Keepa training right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit data and then we're going to go to buy box statistics. Now there's two buy box statistics buttons. There's one for new and then there's one for used. Since I'm mostly focused on selling new, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this to 365 days. So I hit buy box statistics, and essentially what this is sharing with me is everybody who has won the buy box for this specific ASIN, right? Walt Disney Treasures. And I can see if they're an FBA seller or a merchant. Do you guys know how you can tell which one of these sellers is FBA versus FBM? Yep, it's this check mark. So if you see a check mark, you know that that's an FBA seller. Okay. You can see their rating over the last 12 months. When's the last time they won the buy box? How much they have in stock, which isn't always super accurate, but you can see a couple people are in stock right now, their lifetime reviews on their store, and you can see the percentage they won the buy box during this period of time and what was the average price they won the buy box for. Now, a lot of people make the big mistake of purchasing an item and, they might pay $40 and they think they're going to sell it for $150, right? Because the buy box is at $150, but the buy box could be overly inflated because one person is selling it at too high of a price. So I like this part right here because I can get an idea of what the buy box is actually rotating at, and just gives me better confidence when I'm sourcing and kind of getting an idea of what I think I can sell it for. But that's besides the point. The purpose of this right here is to see all of the sellers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through some of these sellers, and I want to see which seller maybe has a good amount of feedback, who maybe I want to go through their store. And, you know, the more you flip on Amazon, especially if you're doing like eBay to Amazon or Amazon to Amazon, you're going to start to notice the same sellers all the time on your listings, right? Those are the people you want to target. I notice a couple of these people. I even noticed myself on this listing too, but you know, so I notice a couple of these people. Actually, matter of fact, I noticed somebody who's in my eBay to Amazon masterclass. I'm not going to storefront stalk them because they might slap me at the Books and Beyond event when they see me in real life. So I'm going to ignore that store, but let's find somebody maybe who looks interesting. So look at this person right here. NP Sales LLC. They have 1,500 ratings, 100% in the last 12 months. Let's click on this name right here. So this is the key. You've got to click on the name. Okay. And now what's happening is Keepa is processing their store, and we're going to be able to storefront stock them. So on this front page right here, you're going to be able to see their lifetime reviews, and check this out down here. You can see when they are on a listing, they're usually competing with about 3 people, which makes sense for eBay to Amazon. Most of my items, I'm competing with, you know, 2, 3, 4 people. But you can see their feedback. And this is interesting too. I just did this for myself the other day because I wanted to see how much I was winning the buy box. I was winning the buy box, I think, at like 27%. This seller's winning their buy box at 20%. And you could see 0% used. So they're probably doing eBay to Amazon, flipping new items just like me. But this is where the magic comes in. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down, stay on seller metrics. Okay. Scroll down. You can see that it looks like they started their store in 2017. Scroll down, keep scrolling, and here you go. You see category? We can see all the categories that they are selling, and you can see the percentage of the category they're selling. So this seller is selling 99% of their items is DVDs, 0.58%, less than 1% is books, and then, you know, even less is video games. Okay. I can't tell, maybe there's a way, I can't tell how many listings they have, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to click into movies and TV. All right. And this is, you know, going to be a lot quicker down the road. But what you're going to be able to see is, look at this number down here. Can anybody tell me how many DVDs do they have in their store? I'm moving my cursor down at the bottom. Can anybody see how many DVDs they have? Yep. They have 426 overall DVDs. Yep, Gary, you're right. Yep, Jovi. Yep, 426 DVDs. Well, like I said earlier, you can literally download this list and you can upload them to Replen Catcher, and you could track them 24/7. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why would I want to upload Replens to Replen Catcher? Like, Replen Catcher is tracking over 2 million products. Why do I have to do this? Well, there's like 300 million products on Amazon. So it's very expensive. It's very, I'll just say it's hard to track millions and millions of products. I wish that in our live stream, you can just create a filter and we can search through 300 million products, but the reality is we can't. So there's a good chance there's probably DVDs and products within this person's store that they're selling that Flipmine, Replen Catcher don't have in the live stream. Does that make sense? So what we want to do is we want to download these items and we want to track them. But before we do that, because with Replen Catcher, it gets more and more expensive the more products you track in your Replen area. So you don't want to just upload everything because you're going to have just like a bunch of junk. You could have items that maybe are high risk of IP complaints. We want to filter this down. So how do you filter this list down? Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do, and always make sure you do this, because at the end when you go to download your list, you have to do this. Right now, it's only going to let you download up to 100 because it says 100 rows. So since there's 426, I'm going to do 500. Okay. So at least if I wanted to download this whole list right now, it would let me. So that's first and foremost. Second, what we want to do is go to advanced filter. Give me a 1 in the comments if you see advanced filter. It's right next to configure columns, advanced filter. It's squished in between 1, 2, 3, 500 rows. What we're going to want to do, thanks, Mark, is we're going to want to hit that. Now, this is where the magic happens. And again, I'm going to show you guys another example after this. Like, this looks like, oh my God, there's like 50 steps. It's not as hard as it looks. I'm just talking through every single step. But this is where we're now going to be able to break down their store. So for some reason, it says 425 now. So it looks like maybe Mark purchased one of the items, so it doesn't exist, doing some Amazon to Amazon flips. But this is where we're going to be able to narrow down the store and filter down only the items that we want to download and then track. So let me know in the comments down below, everybody. What do you think is the sales rank that we want to focus on? What's the lowest sales rank you want to download from the store? And what's the highest sales rank? I want to hear in the comments down below because I know we got some hard hitting DVD flippers. Do you want to source DVDs that are up to 100,000, up to 200,000, up to 300,000? I'm just talking about the rank right now. Mark says 30 to 85,000. That's my sweet spot. I love DVDs, 30 to 85,000. I would open it up just a tiny bit just because, you know, the ranks are always changing. A slower rank could get faster. A faster rank could get a little bit slower. So I'm going to say, you know, I love that range. I'm going to say 20,000 up to 125,000. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a range. And check this out. Once I hit the screen, look, it just dropped from 425 to 215. So what does that mean? It means that what's 425 minus 215, 315, 415, 210 items did not meet that criteria. So 210 out of those 425 items were either lower than 20,000 rank or above 125,000 rank. Why do we not want to go below 20,000? Normally, you know, on eBay, those are kind of higher risk of being counterfeits. They're more new, they're more current. They're just riskier, higher risk of IP complaints. So I kind of stay away from that. I just put a video on my YouTube channel today called How to Fly Under the Radar, flipping items from eBay to Amazon. Go check out that video. I actually have a free guide that I give away in that video. It's a DVD counterfeit prevention guide that breaks down like all the different nuances to flipping DVDs. So definitely check that out. And then 125,000, I like that because once you start going over it, sometimes there might only be one sale every couple of months. But if you did want to extend that out a little bit, I'll show you guys a little bit of a trick because sometimes you'll miss some opportunities. So let's actually open this up to 200,000. Okay. So it's going to go from 215 to, so it went from 215 to 276. But check this out. If I scroll down, oh, and by the way, you have to make sure that you are in the right category. It automatically did it because I already chose it. But it's under the movies and DVD category. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. I'm going to scroll. I also always uncheck digital product and ebook, even though I doubt they're selling any of that. So I'm going to scroll all the way down. Where is this? I'm looking for one. All right, let me look for sales. I'm looking for monthly sales. So I like to go to sales rank drops. So this is going to share how many times within a certain amount of a period of time there's been at least one drop with a sale. So I'm going to just say at least two sales over the last 90 days. So that's going to drop that from 279 to 259. So that allowed me to open up the rank a little bit, but make sure at least there's some sales right there. Okay. And then the last part of the equation is I only want to track DVDs that sell for a certain price because when I'm flipping from eBay to Amazon, I don't want to track DVDs that are selling for 20, 22, 25. There's usually not a lot of meat on the bone. So what I like to do is go to new and put in 30. So now it's going to drop from 259 to 126. So now this seller has 126 DVDs that are selling for at least $30 or more, and that's the lowest overall offer. So FBA is probably higher. It's within a rank of 20,000 to 200,000. There's at least two sales that have occurred, bare minimum, over the last 90 days. And hey, if you want to go a step further, you could say Amazon's out of stock because maybe you don't want to deal with any listings where Amazon is in stock. So that brings it down to 125 products. Who would like this list of 125 DVDs? If I go into find products right now, you can actually see these are all the DVDs. These are all great potentials. I flipped that one before, Prisoner. Agatha Christie's, I flipped it. George Lopez, I flipped so many of these. Shakespeare, I love this one. Dr. Quinn, got to kind of be careful with counterfeits for that one. Star Trek, I flipped that. Dark Angel, I flipped it. Simpsons, I flipped it. Benny Hill, I flipped it. Dallas, I flipped. Lost, I flipped. Oh yeah, I flipped this a ton of times. The Haunted Palace. Guys, I've literally just created a list of 125 items. Who wants this list? Anybody want this list? I guarantee you there are a ton of opportunities right now. that you can source off of Replen Catcher, or opportunities that are maybe at 20, 25% ROI where you can make a best offer. So the question is, how do we get this list? How do we upload it to Replen Catcher? How do we download this list? Because right now, we just have this huge list. Yeah, Ray says me, Tony, Mark, sure. Yeah, I'll take it. Why not? Right? So what we have to do is we have to hit this export button right here. Okay. So we got to hit export. Does everyone see it? It's in between 500 rows, 1, 2, 3, export. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently touch this. And this is the important part. You've got to make sure that it's only ASINs right here and CSV. Only ASINs and CSV. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit export. And we're going to name this. Okay. We're going to name this Mark's DVDs. These are Mark's. Nobody else can upload them. Okay. So we're going to save that. Mark's DVDs. All right. And I'm going to save that. All right. So now we just downloaded that. So what did we just get? So I'm going to open this up. You guys should be able to see my screen. Let's see. But this is what we downloaded. Can you guys see this where it says Mark's DVDs? I'm not sure if it shares that on my, if everything on my computer is sharing. You guys see this list of 126 ASINs? Okay, sweet. So that's what we just downloaded. Now, that's great. We have a list of ASINs. What the heck are we going to do with it? Well, this is where Replen Catcher gets very, very powerful. And I'm curious, has anybody ever, anyone ever done this before? Has anyone ever storefront stalked and uploaded something to Replen Catcher? I'm curious if anyone's ever done this before. Let me know. Not me, Tony. All right. Well, now you're going to know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Replen Catcher. Okay. And we're going to go into the Replen Catcher area. So Replen Catcher has two main ways that you can source. Number one is the live stream, just like this. So here you can get access to 2 million products. You can create a filter. You can source. You can search for it, just like I did in this example right here. Or you could go to the Replen Catcher area. The Replen Catcher area is essentially all of the results are going to come from only the products that you uploaded. Now, it doesn't mean these products won't be in the live stream, and anything you upload to Replen Catcher is not taking that data and putting it in the live stream. We would never do that. That's all just based on our own searches and whatnot. So this is all, your secret data right here. But this is the Replen Catcher area. So you can see some of the items that I'm tracking in the Replen Catcher area. These are all items I've sold before in the gold, different items. But how do you upload that list? So what you need to do is you need to go to this little icon and you need to go to import. Okay. So we're going to go to the import. And this is the import dashboard within Replen Catcher. This is where you have the ability, and this is like the first time this has ever been done. There's never been a software that's existed that allows you to upload a list of products to eBay and then track them 24/7 around the clock. So this was pretty exciting when we first built the software. But what you're going to do is you're going to hit bulk upload right here. Oh, before we do, I forgot to say, there's one step that I forgot. So what we do is we don't just upload the list. What we need to do is hit this little template right here where it says Google Sheet template. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and make a copy of this so we can actually use it. Okay. And I'm going to name this again, Mark's DVDs, because these are Mark's. All right. So I just made a copy of that template. So this is our upload template right here. So essentially what we're going to do is delete out this box, delete out this box. We're going to then open up that download that we had of those products, and I am going to copy them all. So I'm going to scroll down. I copied all 126. I'm going to X out of that. I'm going to go to this little column right here. I'm going to paste it in. So look, all 126 items have now been pasted in. And then what you're going to want to do is classify these items as a lead or a replen. It honestly doesn't matter. It's just for classification purposes. A lead is an item that you want to resell that you've never sold before. A replen is an item that maybe you've sold it before, but it doesn't matter. In the software, the logic behaves the same exact way. And then you have to tell Replen Catcher, okay, here's all these ASINs. Do you want Replen Catcher to go look on eBay to tell you when it's profitable, 30, 40%, $8, $9 profit based on used or new or both? So for me, I'm just going to do new because I don't know if these are profitable used. We did our search based on new. If you wanted to track used, you can do used. If you want to do new and used, you could. I'm just going to put new. And all you have to do is highlight these two rows right here and just scroll it down just like that. Boom. And you're good to go. Now, if you wanted to add in a target price, you could. So with softwares like Flipmine and stuff, it's only going to show you results based on your ROI and your profit. But some people, like a lot of booksellers, they're willing to buy a book right now that's not profitable. Maybe it's only 8% ROI, and everybody's like, "Oh, this book's garbage." But they know in August and September that the price is going to explode. So you can actually set up target prices. I wouldn't recommend doing it with DVDs and stuff, but for like books and stuff. But we're going to leave that blank. So all you have to do is go to File, Download, CSV, and I'm going to call this Mark Upload Now. All right, so we just saved that. We're going to go back to Replen Catcher, and now we can bulk upload it. So make sure you're uploading the correct file, Mark Upload Now, and then you're going to hit Upload. Now, I highly recommend when you do this, upload it, come back in 24 hours. Because depending on how much traffic is on Replen Catcher, how many people are bulk uploading. Matter of fact, yesterday I just released 3,000 replens for free for all members of the Replen Catcher community, books, DVDs, so on and so forth. So if you guys are a part of Replen Catcher, go check out the Replen Catcher Facebook group. All right, perfect. So you're actually able to see right here where it says Mark Upload Now. It's 34% done. Okay. So it's going to go through this process and it's going to upload all of these items. Now I'm not going to sit here and wait because it could take 20 minutes. It could take an hour. It could take 5 minutes, but essentially what we're doing is we're matching up all those items to the items, like we're finding the UPC on eBay, so on and so forth. And what we're going to do is once this is complete, we're going to be tracking all those items on eBay, 24/7. So I highly recommend doing this, coming back, and then you could go into your Replen Catcher area and those items will start to track. So within the Replen Catcher area, you can tell Replen Catcher, hey, I want you to update me. I want you to notify me of products when it meets 20% ROI or 30% ROI or 40% ROI or $5 profit or $10 profit. So you can actually go into your settings right here and you can scroll down right here. So you can set your ROI and set your profit. So Replen Catcher will only show you items based on your replens list that meet that specific criteria, right? 30% ROI or $5 profit. You could also add in additional fees. This might make some of you guys want to throw up, but I have a lot of overhead. I have, 4 virtual assistants on my team. I have a prep center. So when I have Replen Catcher calculate my profit, I have them minusing off $7 off the top just because, I have to pay my team about $2,300 a month to run my eBay to Amazon business, plus pay a prep center. So, I flip about 500 items a month and my average selling price is over $100. So I've kind of run the numbers that my overhead is about $7 per item. For a lot of you guys and gals, you're just going to have 0, 0, or maybe just $1. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. We can definitely do some more examples now. I want to see what's going on here with Replen Catcher. Let's see if this upload is working. Okay, so it's 55% of the way done, 119 uploaded. So it's going to go through that whole entire process. And yeah, interesting. I'm excited. So let's go into another example. What niche do you guys want me to storefront next? Yep, Ray says books. I do quite a bit of tools. I would say toys is probably my number one niche. If you were to find my store, it's probably 50% toys and games. And then I would say my second overall most popular niche is probably maybe electronics, tools, office supplies. After that, probably DVDs. I'm not really doing too many books right now just because my prep center is mostly like they're really good at new. Like we're doing mostly all new items. So we're not really doing many used. But I do books and stuff from thrift stores, but just not eBay to Amazon. But we have quite a few users doing it. All right, cool. So let's go back into Replen Catcher and let's go find a bookseller to storefront stock. If you guys have any sellers you want me to stalk, I'll stalk them right now. I'll steal all their good stuff and give them to you. No, I won't. Okay, so let me go back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the live stream and let's reset the filter. Let's go into books. Let's say we want to find books. This doesn't really matter too much, I guess, but we can say we want to find books that are selling for over $60, $8 profit, 30% ROI. Of course, used. Replen Catcher doesn't track books as new because we don't want to put our users in jeopardy of getting their accounts in trouble with new books. So that's pretty much the only category we won't sell new. Rank, let's just say we're going to go up to 2 million. Let's just say we want at least two sales a month or one sale a month because I know a lot of you guys like to flip those long tail books. And what I'm going to do is hit search. So the live stream has 611,000 books that we're currently tracking right now. And if you are integrated to Replen Catcher, you can actually turn this on if you wanted to hide all of your restricted books. But I like to keep it off because you can actually auto apply to get auto ungated. So let's find an interesting book that we want to flip possibly, and we want to try to find some sellers. Okay, trying to find something interesting here. 590,000 rank. Go look at the Keepa chart. The lowest overall is around 25 up to 50. Looks like new is there. The used buy box around 50, 60 bucks. This might be an interesting book. Let's click into it. Okay. So just like I'm gonna move quick on this one. So the goal here is to storefront Stalk, see if there's any sellers on the listing. So I'm gonna go to data. And since this is used, we want to go to the used buy box statistics right over here. And just bear with me a moment, guys. My computer's kind of slow right now. All right, I'm going to open this up over 365 days and check it out. We can see everybody who's been selling this book and winning the buy box over the last 365 days. Let me know, is there anybody you want me to storefront stock? Military man. I'm going to do an FBA seller. PKJ Books. You can see their review count. We probably want to go after somebody who has a good amount of reviews. Look at this person, 527 reviews, JP Academics. The best thing is to find somebody who you know is like doing like Amazon to Amazon flips or eBay to Amazon. You'll be able to tell pretty quickly once you go into the store. Can I buy electronics from eBay and resell them on Amazon? I flip a ton of them. You just got to be careful to not get IP complaints and make sure the condition's good. And the return rates are a little bit higher too. So you got to be a little careful. So let's go into JP Academics. I can't guarantee that this is going to be a good person to storefront stock, but let's take a look at this seller. So it looks like they have 99% books in their store. So again, I scrolled down a category. Let's go to books. Let's see how many they have in their store. So they have 1,135 books in their store. So what I'm going to do is go to advanced filter. And let's say that we only want to go after books that are maybe up to 2 million rank. So that's going to drop it down from 1,135 down to 1,000. Let's just say that we only want to source books where the used buy box is over $30, because the reason I'm doing that is because we have to buy these items for like 10 bucks or less if it's only selling for 30. So it's kind of tough to flip books from eBay to Amazon if it's only like $20. So let's try the used buy box. So, okay, so that brings it down to 448. Say I really wanted to go after like high ticket stuff. Let's do $50 or more. Brings it down to 286. Now, if I didn't want to search the used buy box, I could do the lowest overall offer. So I can put that instead and see what that does. Okay, I actually did 60. So I'm going to make, so what I'm looking for now through this seller's store are books under 2 million. Okay. All right. Where the lowest overall used offer, according to Keepa, is $60. Okay. Now I could do that over, instead of doing that current, I could do that over the last 90 days. It's going to drop the results probably much lower. Oh, not too much. So over the last, so out of this person's store, they have 469 products where over the last 90 days, the average buy box or the average lowest overall used offer is $60 or more. That's pretty cool. Under 2 million rank. Now, if I wanted to, I could also do what I did before where I can do the sales rank drop. So let's just say within the last 30 days, there's been at least one sale. And that's going to probably drop it down. Yeah, it dropped it down to 160. Maybe I want at least two sales. 442. What about at least 3 sales in the last 30 days? 414 items. 414 items. Let's just say, for example, we also want Amazon out of stock. You don't want to deal with any listings with Amazon. Drops it down to 53. Not a big deal if Amazon's on the listing. It's just you got to keep in mind, if they're competing with you per condition, usually they're on it new. So if you're used, you're not really competing with them. But if you are competing with them per condition, you usually want to go, a couple percent less than them, undercut them a little bit. Um, so yeah, if we want to take a look at these products, we certainly could by hitting find products. Again, there's 414 results, so we have to open up the rows to a number higher than that. So I'm going to open it up to 500. So now you can see all of the different books. Now, it doesn't mean these books are all going to be good because it looks like this person has like a lot of book sets as well. Um, certain items that might not be good from eBay to Amazon, right? Some of these items might not pass books run, counterfeit calculator. So it's definitely not it's not a perfect system. If I wanted to, build this out a little bit more just to kind of, improve this, we could certainly open this up. Maybe we only want to go after like longer tail stuff. So let's just say 300,000 to 2 million could be a better chance of kind of getting away from like the box sets and different things like that. This is just an example, drops it down to 255. Let's see if that helps to eliminate some of these silly ones. Yeah, a little bit. Now you're starting to see just like more normal books here. So let's go ahead and let's export this list. So I'm going to hit export, ascend CSV, export. We're going to name this Ray's Books because I saw Ray in the comments. Ray's Books, 255. Perfect. Again, if I click on that, we'll be able to see all 255 of these ASINs that we want to track on eBay. So what are we going to do? We're going to go back over to Replen Catcher. All right. And okay, perfect. So look, Mark's upload is done. So we uploaded 77. 48 were duplicates, which means I was already tracking them because I'm tracking 3,789 within my account right now. So 48 were duplicated. So those obviously weren't uploaded. Let's go ahead and let's open up this Google Sheet template one more time. And the reason we have to make a copy is because this is just a template for everyone. It's only in view only mode. So I'm going to hit make a copy. So I'm going to call this Ray's Books 255. Perfect. All right, I'm going to X out of all this other stuff to keep this clean. So what do we do here? Just delete that out. Oh, I also got to go back. I forgot to make a copy of this. So I'm going to copy all of these. See how quick this is, guys? And the cool thing is you just do this once and then the software tracks it forever. All right. You don't have to format it, but I just did. So now all 255 are added. Now we just have to choose the classification. I'm going to do replens. These are books, so I only want to track it as used. Just going to delete that out. Pull this column all the way down. All right. Hopefully you guys are following. And then we're going to download this. So file, download CSV, Ray's Books. Upload now. Just name it something you remember. You don't want to upload the wrong file because Replen Catcher is looking for these headers. It has to, don't mess with the headers at all or else this won't upload correctly. So hopefully this works smoothly this time. We keep having that weird bug that shows up at the top saying zip code. So I'll share that with the developer team, but just ignore that if it happens again. So we're going to look for Ray's Books, upload now. You can see that this is the correct format. Hit open. And boom, it's going to upload. It says uploaded successfully. So this is going to auto refresh. And within about a minute or so, you're going to see that this upload is going to start occurring. Now, again, dependent upon the traffic on Replen Catcher, this may take, shorter or longer. We uploaded those 125 fairly quickly. There must not be a lot of people uploading right now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the best thing to do is just upload it and kind of come back in maybe a couple of hours or so and see if it has processed through. But yeah, you can see that this is starting right now. And I've uploaded a bunch of different things. Like here was 50 toys. If there's any errors or like we can't match it up or like maybe it was the wrong ASIN, it'll just show the error. But yeah, we'll just let this rip behind the scenes in the background. And of course, make sure to join my free eBay to Amazon Facebook group or Replen Catcher group or Reselling Freedom. And after this call, I'm going to drop them into the Facebook group so you guys and gals can download them and upload them as well. But yeah, pretty cool, right? All right. Jeff says, where can I find the replays of these Zoom calls? Is it included in the E2A course or somewhere else? Well, these Zoom calls are inside of Replen Catcher. So if you're a part of Replen Catcher, if you go to, let's see, profile training, you can go to office hours. So we're putting all the office hours in here. I just did my first one for Replen Catcher last week with Tanner. He's buying about 100 books per month, spending about 2,000 a month flipping books from eBay to Amazon. So we put that in here. So we're going to start filling it up within this page. So I think actually you don't even have to be a part of Replen Catcher. If you just go to replencatcher.com/office-hours, you should also be able to get access to this as well, because this isn't hidden behind a paywall or anything. So definitely check that out. Look, 48%. So it's uploading slowly but surely. Pretty cool, right? And if you go into Manage Catcher, that's usually a pop-up we have if you don't put in your zip code. But we've been making a lot of updates to the software the last couple of days, so I'll have to let the team know about that. But regardless, you could go into your Replens list, Manage Catcher, and you can see all of the Replens that you've uploaded over the past, and you can manage them. So you could change, like maybe you want to have Replen Catcher search for it as used or used and new, or maybe if you want to delete a replen, so on and so forth. Alex says, I know this is about Amazon, but can this be done for eBay to Amazon flips as well? I guess theoretically you could. You would just have to find a really, really killer deal. I found a DVD yesterday. My team did. We bought it for $9.99 on Replen Catcher, and we're gonna sell it on Amazon for 50. So I bet you that sells for like 30 bucks on eBay all day long. I bet it does. So theoretically you could. The software is just not built like for eBay to Amazon. Excuse me, eBay to eBay. But you theoretically could. You would just have to figure out, like, you would have to get a really dirt cheap deal. Also, guys, if you've never used Replen Catcher before either, I put out a free course. So if you go to replencatcher.com and you land on the sales page, if you click free course right here, I just put this out the other day. Let me make sure I wasn't even, there we go. So if you go to replencatcher.com and click free course right here, I have a free course that I just released. So it's about 32 videos. So all you have to do is click in. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to put your email. You don't have to join Replen Catcher, but you can literally go in and I walk you through all the different parts of the software, right? How to create advanced filters, how to bulk upload, how to block sellers and block ASINs, how to integrate your account, tons of different videos, as you can see. And these aren't, like little crummy videos. I put a lot of effort into all of these to really walk people through the process of how to do this. So definitely enjoy that as well. Let me get back into the comments. Junior, absolutely. Jeff says, I need to learn. Well, yeah, definitely go through that free course. Jeff says, do you need Keepa with this? I get Keepa charts through BuyBot Pro. The thing with having a Keepa subscription is it'll give you more data. So like when you're looking at and you're analyzing a deal, I'll show you an example right here of what I mean. So let's go into Replen Catcher and let's find a potential opportunity and analyze it together. I'm going to open up one of my advanced filters. Here we go. And let's wait for some products to populate. But when you're using Keepa, you can get a lot more data on a product. Like I'm going to click into this sales page. If you were using the free version of Keepa, it wouldn't share with you like the sales rank drops, just like that. And also, I don't think it's going to let you go into data and look at like buy box statistics or used buy box statistics. Also, Keepa, this is another powerful thing that a lot of people don't know. If you go to Keepa Product Finder, check this out. This is pretty crazy. Let's go to Keepa. Let's go to, oh yeah, this is Keepa Product Finder. This is how we find a lot of our products for Replen Catcher to track within the live stream. Obviously takes more coding and developers and different things like that. But if you ever wanted to build your own custom replens list without storefront stalking, you can go to Keepa Product Finder, and this is part of, the paid Keepa plan. And you can go into here and you could choose any category. So let's just say I want to find video games. Okay. So I'm going to choose video games. And let's just say I want to find video games that are ranked between 10,000 and I don't know, 40,000. And let's just say I want these to be selling for $50 or more, the lowest overall new buy box, the lowest overall new price. And let's just say that I wanted Amazon out of stock. Okay. And then let's go down to offer count. So I want to make sure there's at least 3 sellers on the listing because maybe I'm worried about getting IP complaints. Look, it brought it down to 1,294 products. And let's go to not a digital product, not an ebook. Okay, sales rank drop. So let's just say there's been at least 5 sales in the last 30 days. Brings it down to 1,000. Let's get a little crazier. Let's just say I want these items to be $50 new, but I want the overall lowest used offer to be 30 bucks, right? Now we're down to 461 products. I could hit find products right now. Let's open this up because there's 461. So here we go. And I don't know why there's some mouses in here, maybe because they're like video game mouses, but these are 461 products within the video game category that are selling for over $50 with a rank between 10,000 and 40,000 that have at least 5 sales in the last 30 days. And again, if I wanted to do the same exact thing, I could go in and I could export this. So we're going to call this video games 461. All right. I could go back into Replen Catcher, import. This is how fast it is once you learn how to do this. Boom, Google template, make a copy. We're going to call this video game items. Delete that out. Let's open up that list again. Let's copy them all. And again, you wouldn't be able to do this without a paid Keepa plan. Let's paste it in. Let's put them all as replens, new. Drag these 2. Take this little blue ball, rip it down until the end. And you've got to do this in order for Replen Catcher to know how to upload it. It's just part of the system, the development. All right, make sure that looks good. Looks good. Download CSV. 461 video games. Upload now. Replen Catcher. Bulk upload. Boom. There we go. Now, the only thing you got to be careful with when you're doing like really big uploads is sometimes there could be like junk that's mixed in, and you have to keep in mind like Replen Catcher gets more expensive the more replens that you're tracking. So, Replen Catcher, the cheapest plan is $29.99 per month. If you use the code Replen10 at checkout, you'll save 10%. So I think it's like $26.99 a month to track 100. Then it goes up to like 50 a month to track 500. And then I think the highest plan is like 350 a month for like 10,000. But honestly, it's not the quantity of your replens list that matters, it's the quality. So I would say the only downside of using like Keepa Product Finder or Storefront Stalking is if you're just taking a massive list without filtering it, you're going to get like a bunch of stuff that maybe we're never able to find, or maybe mismatches, or like maybe products you're not interested in. And, as much as we would appreciate you upgrading to higher subscriptions, because we could take those funds and continue to reinvest in building the software more and more, we want you guys to win. And, we don't want you guys to overpay for something that's not necessary. So what I recommend doing is starting on the lowest plan, starting small. And what I'd recommend doing is before you even go ahead and start bulk uploading, this is a really cool thing about Replen Catcher is you can actually go into your orders. So if you go to manage Replen Catcher, if you go into orders, Replen Catcher actually integrates with your Amazon account, and it'll pull in your items that you've sold. So you can see 42 minutes ago, I sold this item. I paid 69, sold it for, well, looks like it's not telling me. Ignore this for now, guys. We're actually making a lot of changes right now with the development and stuff with the API. So ignore this. But if I look on my Amazon right now, let's see how much I sold that item for. Sold it for 149.99. 149.99. So this should be fixed hopefully by the end of the night. But normally what it'll do is it'll tell you what your total is, and then you can add it as a replen. All these items in green, I've already added as a replen. Like this item right here, if I wanted to add this into my replens list, I can just hit add as replen, choose the condition, boom, confirm. So my apologies for some of the issues going on today. We're very deep into developing a lot of things with Replen Catcher right now. So yeah, but normally it'll tell you what you actually sold the item for, and you can add it directly as a lead or a replen in the Replen Catcher. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Jeff says, whoa. What's the URL for Replen Catcher on the site now, and don't see a link for the tutorials? So Hale or Hal, I'm sorry. If you just go to replencatcher.com, just go to free course right up at the top. So if you click that, it'll bring you right into the free course. You don't need to give your email or log in or anything like that. So, but yeah, I'll upload all of these replens lists into, one of those 3 Facebook groups today, either into Replen Catcher. Well, I'll do all Replen Catcher, eBay to Amazon Facebook group, and Reselling Freedom. So if you're not joined to at least one of those, be sure to join in. And yeah, hopefully you guys had fun. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Scott is asking, is there a way to filter out products that Amazon is selling in the Replen Catcher results? I don't want to compete against Amazon. We don't have that right now. It's definitely something we could consider in the future, but that's a very interesting feature idea, Scott. So actually, I'm gonna write that down. You know what I love about building this software, guys, with all of you is you guys always have really good ideas. So sort out Amazon. So kind of like have a button where you click it and then it won't show any listings where you're competing with Amazon. I think that's pretty much what you're saying. Does Replen Catcher only find items on eBay US, or can I find items for eBay Canada? Yeah, unfortunately right now it's only eBay US. It sounds very easy. And when I came into the software space, I thought building this all out with my team was going to be really easy, but there's something called API limitations. And in order to, build out for Canada or build out for the UK, which we're looking into, it's a lot. It's a huge project. It's really big, and all of our customers are pretty much in the US. So it's very tempting. And I know there's people out in Canada and the UK, and I want to do it. It's just, I don't want to disrespect, our user base and spend all our time building something out for months that isn't going to help our current user base. But it's definitely something in the future as we grow and build and have more resources. It's something we're definitely interested in, just to be perfectly honest. The lowest plan is $26.99 if you use the code REPLEN10, but there's a free 14-day trial, so you can play around with it. And I always tell people, if you use it for a couple of weeks and don't make $300, $400, $500 worth of potential profit, then just don't use it, But you obviously have to take the time to learn how to use it. Cool. So any more questions, guys? If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer anything related to Amazon, eBay to Amazon, storefront stalking. Ray says, thanks, Steve, Replen Catcher and all. Happy 4th. Yes, happy 4th. Hopefully everybody has a good 4th of July. Be responsible. Keep your head on a swivel when you're out there on the roads because, people are crazy. So have a safe weekend. Enjoy yourself. We're actually going to go out to the beach. So tonight we're actually going to head out to the beach and have some dinner with some friends and then go to the beach. Go to the beach tomorrow, not right now because a little too late. But yeah, we're going to go to the beach, enjoy ourselves for 4th of July and everything. So yeah, thanks, Mark. Hal says, don't see tutorial link. Hal, you have to go to Replen Catcher and go to free course at the top. Just click the button and it's there. Hey, thanks, Blaine. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. Well, I'll most likely put this replay up maybe on YouTube. But if not, you can always check out the office hours as well. If you go to replencatcher.com/office-hours for the replay after we edit everything. But yeah, hope everyone has a really great weekend and everything. Enjoy yourselves. And, if you're going to start using the Replen Catcher, just don't spend all your money in one day. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Go slow and steady. A lot of deals might look really good, but Sometimes they're not as good as what Replen Catcher makes it look to be, or sometimes the price can be overly inflated. So do your research on Keepa, make sure the condition is good on eBay, and go slow and steady. It's not a race. So yeah, appreciate everybody. Have a good day. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Tony, Hal, Ray. Appreciate it. Bye bye.